Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Abassi. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and drug survivor. I'm at the pool and I'm going to do a quiet episode. So turn your volume up if you need to. So what I wanted to talk about today is the fact that I'm totally like feeling so bored and just kind of like, I don't know, not right on the inside. And yet I have been moving nonstop. So I wanted to talk it through today and see what we might figure out. Um, really talking about how I feel like I'm doing everything right and still I'm feeling pretty wrong on the inside. I feel restless, irritable, and discontent, which is the three words that we use to describe ourselves when we are sober, but we are not emotionally sober. So it's a red flag for me. So I'm going to talk about it. Um, I feel like I should be feeling a lot more gratitude than I do. I feel like I should be settled in a little more, than I do. And yet I feel like I just can't figure out what to do that's going to fulfill this like empty feeling that I have. So I don't know what's going on. Um, I have decided over the past few days, I've been talking about rucking. So that's been really helpful to me. And my husband bought me my own rucking backpack. So that should be coming in the mail. It's a little bit smaller than his. It's a lot smaller than his. So it's not as bulky on my back and it should be able to be hooked like really tight to my back so that it's not pulling me backwards as much. Um, and like dragging at the bottom of my back. So he got that for me. And so I'm looking forward to using that. I did yoga today for the first time in forever. I didn't get all the way through it because the phone rang and it was my friend. And I thought, finish yoga or talk to my friend. Okay, I'm going to talk to my friend. Um, so I didn't finish, but I probably did like 40 minutes, which is pretty good. And my back held up, so that's really promising. Um, so now I'm at the pool and I also did some recovery stuff. I submitted some of my paperwork to the insurance company for my back physical therapy. So I actually got some to-dos done as well. So why do I not feel right? Like, why do I feel restless? And it's been days and days of feeling restless. And I've definitely slightly acknowledged it to my husband. I've been like, I'm just kind of um feeling agitated a little bit. Now, one thing that's really bothering me is I have this, I think it's seasonal eczema, where I get these like little blisters on my feet, it's like on my ankles and on my fingers. And right now I have some on my ankle and it's driving me up the wall. Like last night, I was trying to fall asleep and I swear I like was visualizing grabbing a steak knife and just freaking jamming it into the place that itched. I'm telling you, it is so itchy. I can't stand it. I have been taking a little bit of Benadryl. I have been putting a not hydroxyzine. I don't know, the anti-itch stuff on it, and I got some eczema lotion and nothing makes the itch go away. I will tell you the one thing that makes the itch go away is to put an ice pack on it. So, that maybe that's what's wrong. Maybe that's like leaving me with this like unsettled freaking irritation and restlessness because I can't just sit still. I've just constantly got this feeling like I have to scratch my ankle, and it's a little TMI, but I don't care. So, I think that when I feel restless, irritable, and discontent in sobriety, there is a tendency to feel like, um, feeling a little shameful about it. Like I should be better. I have so much to be grateful for, and I shouldn't feel restless, irritable, and discontent. That's what people without emotional sobriety feel like. So doing my walking and my yoga and my crocheting and being productive, how can I still feel unsettled? Like if you're doing all the right things. And I think that today I need to acknowledge how it is hard to sit still. And maybe sometimes that's what I need to do. I think I'm challenged sitting still because I have this um rash. I guess it's a rash, an itchy rash. It's hard to sit still with that, like, in the back of my mind. But other than that, like, um, even when that's not bothering me, like I'm sitting in my studio with all these things I could be doing, and I'm just thinking, bleh, what do I want to do? And feeling calm, like I don't feel anxiety really about anything. Um, but I think it's important to acknowledge that it's there. And that's what I tell you guys all the time. Like I need to acknowledge what's going on, give it a name, and talk about how is it showing up physically for me. I feel like I'm fidgety. That's definitely something that's going on. I definitely feel zoned out. And usually when I'm zoned out, that means that my brain is tired. And that could possibly be part of the problem. Maybe I'm pushing myself too far. It's hard to tell. And for those of you who are in recovery, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like knowing when to stop. When am I pushing myself too far and when I'm not pushing myself far enough? Um, when I'm feeling like I'm on edge, I'm quick to get aggravated. It's very unlike me, but that's how I'm feeling right now. So what is the root of that discontent? Do I feel fearful? I think that I feel a little bit of loneliness. I think that this season for me, we just had Independence Day and I got through the holiday without feeling sorry for myself that I wasn't able to go to any picnics and that I wasn't able to look at the fireworks, and I cuddled in bed with the puppies. And maybe that's something that I need to acknowledge. Like, you got through that. Good job. Like, that's a win, a celebration to acknowledge that I was able to get through something that is a holiday that every other year I have celebrated it in a big way. And that was before I stopped drinking. And then once I stopped drinking, I had to make that change. And now I've got to make a new change again. So, are there some unmet needs that, like in the way of connecting and socializing that I didn't get over the past week? That could be, and that's why it's important for me to talk about out loud what's been going on. And I appreciate you tuning in and just listening, because I realize that as I share some of these things that you might be able to identify sometimes like what's going on with you as well. And sometimes it's not about what's happening around me, about doing my crocheting and yoga and going for my rucking walk and all that stuff. Sometimes it's about what's not happening, like emotional connection And I did actually feel like I've been playing around with my signs again, and that's been fun. So so that's been a bonus. Side note, it's a break now, so it's super quiet. And I'm the only one talking, and I'm talking to myself inside this under this gigantic umbrella, and I'm by some young kids who I feel like are looking at me. So um, I think that it's important to touch on how even good routines can become a little mind numbing if I'm not connected to why I'm doing them. And today, when I was talking to my friend, she was asking me some questions about some of my hobbies. Like, I think she asked me if I was still doing some jewelry or painting or something like that. And I dove into telling her what I'm doing some painting on some bracelets right now. And all of a sudden I perked up just telling her about those. But yet I don't feel like I have the like oomph to get the stuff out and do it. Um, so that's just where I'm at, you know. I think that it's normal for me to be thinking, and maybe some of you who are also in recovery think when you're feeling irritable and discontent, I should be fine. And I feel like I should be thinking, you know, you're lucky to be alive. You should be grateful. And it's true, but I'm also human, you know, and life is going to feel low sometimes. Even when things look good, I can feel discontent. And it doesn't mean that I'm broken, and it doesn't mean that I'm backsliding, but maybe I'm just kind of spiritually bored, you know, and I need something deeper. Maybe there's a little bit of a soul hunger, not just activity, but something a little deeper. And maybe there's a spiritual void that can sneak in even when I'm going through all the motions. So, what does my spirit need today? Do I need connection? Probably. Probably. I am going to the movie theater with my niece Emily tomorrow. The jury's still out what we're going to see. I think we're going to see Megan 2.0. I'm not terribly excited about Megan 2.0, but there's not a lot competing for Megan 2.0. The race movie, the race car movie, seems like it would not be terribly exciting for somebody who can't look at the screen. So I do have planned connection on the calendar. So I will be doing that tomorrow. I did talk to my friend today, and she's going to come to the pool with me soon, and we're going to have a pool picnic. I'm a sucker for a pool picnic. And I think maybe I need to start my new book. And that book is going to be Pride and Prejudice. And that's for my daughter Bailey's book club. So that's going to start here soon. And I have a vestibular disorders for stroke and TBI survivors that a support group that I'm leading tomorrow. So that'll be a little bit of connection. So I think that this was good for me. I don't know that I came to a big, hard and fast conclusion as to what's wrong, but I think that I have an inkling of what's going on. I think that just by talking through it, I think that I need to acknowledge that yes, I did a good job for the 4th of July. I did a good job not feeling like I was missing out for the 4th of July, but some of that carries over for a few days afterwards. And I need to acknowledge that while everybody else is going back to work and I'm getting back to my normal hobbies and doing my recovery stuff that maybe I'm sad about it. Maybe I'm sad that I didn't get to do anything fun for the 4th of July. And so I'm going to allow myself to feel that today. And then make sure that I get some connection on the calendar. So actually, instead of talking about it with my friend, I'm going to reach out and see when she'd like to come out and go to the pool with me. And so that's action. That's what that is. So I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to acknowledge the emptiness because it might be a doorway to some deeper insights. And I think that I pinpointed exactly what it was. I really do think it's the 4th of July thing that I have been like, oh, you did great. You did great. You know, when's the last time I felt this way, this irritable, whatever, and discontent? It's usually when I'm disconnected to people. So that's what I'm gonna do. And let's see. I think some closing thoughts are that I've been acting over the past week. I've been kind of normalizing this emotional stuff I've been feeling and acting like it's okay, Rachel's okay. And maybe Rachel's not okay. Maybe Rachel's a little sad that she didn't get to do stuff for the holiday like everybody else did. So I'm acknowledging that. And if there are days that you are feeling, there it is, restless, irritable, and discontent, that you're not alone. And even though you might be feeling shameful, like I shouldn't feel this way, I should be grateful. It's okay. It's okay to feel this way. And it's super quiet here. It's super, super quiet. I feel like everybody's listening to me. Um, So if you don't have something like a podcast that you record, I would definitely encourage you to journal or somehow explore some of that if you're feeling any of those feelings, because you never know what's going to be hiding underneath. And so I'm glad I did this exercise today. And even though it was super quiet, I hope you could hear me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.